Hi besties, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tracy Choose. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you the secrets to long-lasting makeup. If your makeup don't normally last for at least 12 hours, then these tips are for you. So first off, I'll be cleansing the face with the micellar cleansing water and a baby wipe. Then after that, I will go with my Kiss Beauty setting spray just to hydrate the skin and to keep the skin fresh all day. Then I will dry down with a fan. Moving on to my moisturizer, I'm using the Blossom Moist Essence. I'll be applying that all over our face, especially under our eyes, just to make the skin fresh and to retain nutrients. Then once I'm done applying the moisturizer, I will go back with my mini fan. I'll also dry that down before I will move over to primer. So for primer, I'm using the Zickel oil-free mattifying primer. I'll be applying that all over her face except her under eye because my clients have an oily face, so I want the makeup to stay all day. Then I will dry down with a fan. So here is the twist, guys. If you want your makeup to last longer, after you're done applying your primer, then you go over your face with a setting powder. You use your fluffy brush like a powder brush, apply that basically the places that produces more oil. So you just gently dust that on the skin like you see me do here. So I'm applying the setting powder all over her face except her under eyes. Then once I'm done, I'll go back with my hydrating setting spray just to seal the skin prep. Then I'll also dry down with a fan. For foundation, I'm using the V Beauty foundation in the shade Maroon. I'm using a flat brush to apply on her skin. Then I'm using the Mirax beauty sponge. It's a dark beauty sponge, guy. And I'm gently tapping that on her skin. Like little motion. I'm not using much force. Guys, can you see I'm light-handed? Like I'm just gently spreading that on the skin and I'm blending it at the same time. And I didn't use much product as well. Little goes a long way. Guys, get into the foundation. Can you see the skin match? Like the foundation match is 100. So once I'm done blending, I'll move over to blush. So I'm using the liquid blush from Taylor Cosmetics palette. I'm applying that on her cheekbone. I'm using the same beauty sponge I used earlier. Guys, please take your time to blend. Like blend. Make sure each product blend evenly to the skin. Another tip, guys, when you are applying product on the skin, don't pack too much product. You can actually go back when you see that the one you applied earlier on wasn't enough, but please don't pack too much product at once. Like take it step by step, little by little. With that, to be easy for you to blend and to be easy for you to control. So once I'm done blending the blush, I'll move over to the concealer. So for concealer, I'm using the Eyebrow concealer. I'm applying that on her forehead, her nose bridge, and her under eye, basically the places I want to highlight. Once I'm done applying that, I will still go back with that same beauty sponge and blend the concealer evenly. Guys, another thing that makes your makeup to shift or make your foundation to shift is when you are using too much effort and you didn't blend that seamlessly to the skin. Like, don't pack too much product. Take your time to blend each product. Take your time to layer each product. And when you are light-handed as well, your makeup will not shift. Can you see that the little concealer I applied under her eyes was enough to cover that particular place? Like, it gave me full coverage. And I'm taking my time to blend. So I'll be using that as my setting powder. I will still go back under the eyes to make sure it's blended properly before I will set the under eyes. Another tip, guys, when setting the highlighted area, especially the under eyes, you use one layer at a time. What I mean by one layer is that when you take up your setting powder with your beauty sponge, you dust off the excess on the beauty sponge before you apply on the skin. Like, one layer at a time, dust off the excess on your beauty sponge, then you press that to the skin. Take your time to blend, guys. Make sure each product absorbs into the skin. So I'm using my V Beauty powder palette. I'm taking that lighter shade in that powder palette to further set my under eye. This is just to give that under eye more coverage. Guys, can you see I'm not packing too much product? Like, each one I take from the powder palette, I'll make sure I blend that to the skin before taking any other products. So moving over, I'm taking the darker shade in that powder palette and a fluffy brush. I'm applying that all over her face except the places I set earlier. So after I'm done setting all over her face, I will take a angled brush, the fluffy angled brush, and the darkest powder shade in my palette as a contour, a dry contour. I'm applying that contour below her cheekbone, her forehead. Basically just to contour the face and to give the face more definition. For powder blush, I'm taking that orange shade from my CV MAC eyeshadow palette, and I'm applying that on her cheekbone. Blend, 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 blend. So for nose contour, I'm using a small fluffy brush and a darker shade to contour her nose. Guys, can you see the difference that makes? So once I'm done contouring that part, the part of the nose, I'll go back with a smaller fluffy brush as well and take up a lighter shade from my powder palette just to further blend in that nose contour, because I don't want any harsh line, like the kind of demarcation. I don't want that. So after I'm done, I'll go back with my fluffy brush. This time around, I'm not taking any product, just to further blend all products to the skin and to make sure there is no harsh line. Next up, I'll be setting the face with the Kiss Beauty setting spray, and I will dry that with a fan. This is just to remove any powdery effects. Moving over to the eyebrows, I'm using hair wax to tame my brows and a spoolie brush. This is just to keep the hair in place before outlining my brows. So next off, I'm using my setting powder and my beauty sponge to dab off the excess oil on the brows. For eyebrows, I'm using the black and the brown gel liner and a flat brush to outline my brows. Guys, please, when doing this, make sure your brush is really flat. Mine wasn't that flat. I couldn't find my flat angled brush, so it was hard for me to outline. So once I'm done outlining the lower and the upper part of the brows, I will gently fill in the brows, especially the places there is no hair. I will gently fill in. So for the beginning part of the brows, I'm using the Davis pencil in 03 and I'm basically making strokes upwards. This is just to make the brows look more natural. So once I'm done, I'll go back with my spoolie brush and gently brush that in. To conceal the brows, I'm using that same concealer I used earlier on, the Eyebrow Cosmetics, and a flat brush to conceal the brows. Guys, please take your time when doing this and don't take too much concealer. Once I'm done, I will go back with a fluffy brush to blend the concealer evenly. Yeah, I'm basically making corrections. So after that, I will move over to set the under eyes, like the concealer, the places I highlighted, like under the brows. So I'll be using a setting powder to set that and to remove any oil effect from the concealer. Next off, I'm baking. So right now we are baking under the eyes before moving over to the eyeshadow. This is just to help us catch any eyeshadow fallout. So for eyeshadow base, I'm using the Benign Clown White as my eyeshadow base. I'll be blending it with a fluffy brush. I'm just making sure that the eyeshadow base is evenly distributed. So for my first transition, I'm using that powder shade, the one I used to contour our nose earlier on, as my first transition shade. I'm using a fluffy brush to blend that in. So once I'm done, I'll go over to my Blood Cosmetics in shade Cola. It's also a brown color, but that has a little red undertone, which I love so much, to further deepen my crease. So I'll be taking this darker shade from my powder palette and the black shade from my eyeshadow palette. I'll be mixing both shades together, and I'll apply that on the outer part of the eyes with a fluffy brush. This is just to further deepen the eyeshadow. Once I'm done, I'll go back with the color I used earlier on at the crease area to further blend in and make sure there is no harsh line. So moving over, I went back with the fluffy brush I used earlier to apply the eyeshadow base, just to further clean up any eyeshadow fallout before applying the main color on the eyelid. So for eyelid, I'm taking the white shade from the eyeshadow palette. It's just a regular eyeshadow palette. I don't even know the name, guys. I'm using that shade for the eyelid. And I will gently tap on the lid, just to give it more coverage. Once I'm done, I'll go back with the fluffy brush and blend in again to remove any harsh line. So guys, I just want to spice the eyes up, so I went in with my glitter palette. The palette is broken, hence I couldn't show you guys. I just picked the silver shade and just gently tap it on the eyelids. Can you see the difference it makes, guys? Besties, if you've watched this video to this extent, thank you so much. Thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking around with me. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much. For eyelashes, I'm using the One eyelash and the adhesive eyelash glue. I will gently applying the eyelash. Moving over to the lips, I'm using the Eye Magic lip palette. I'll be mixing the brown shade in that lip palette and with also the black eyeshadow eyebrow liner I used earlier on. I'll be mixing both shades to outline the lip. So to outline the lip, I'm using a small angled brush and basically overlaying the lips a little. Guys, you can see I'm blending in as well. For the main color, I'm mixing the brown, the nude shade and the white shades together. And I will tell my client to smack her lip. This will help to blend in further. Blend, blend, blend. Make sure the both colors marry together. Guys, there is no rule to makeup. The only thing is that make sure there is no harsh line. Just blend each product to the skin. That's the only rule to makeup, if I can say so. If not, do you guys. So once I'm done blending the lips, to dust off the excess powder on the face, I'm using a small fluffy brush, and that same powder shade I used to set the under eyes. So I'm gently dusting off, basically removing the excess powder and any eyeshadow fallout. So once I'm done, I'll go back with my fluffy brush and that same darker shade I used to set the face and gently go all over the face. This is just to marry all products together. Guys, can you see the difference it makes? So in order to give this eye a lift, I went back with the lighter setting powder as well and my beauty sponge to further cut the eyes like this, just to give the eyes a lift. Guys, can you see that? Can you see the difference it makes? So once I'm done, I will dust off any excess powder on the face and remove any harsh line. So for highlighter, I'm using Taylor Cosmetics, taking those two highlighting shade and I'm applying that on her cheekbone. Guys, can you see the glow? This Taylor Cosmetics, the highlighting powder, highlighting shade is very nice. I'm just dabbing a little on the forehead. I'm applying that on the bridge of the nose and the tip of the nose. After that, I'll go back with my setting spray just to seal the face and to take off any excess powder. And this is the final look, guys. The makeup is giving, the eyes, the lips. I so much love this makeup, guys. Can you see? My client is so happy. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell me the kind of videos you want me to create. See you guys in my next video.